Good evening, ladies, gentlefers, and my lovely NBs. We are here live in the FBA Finals for game number 3 here at Lorain, Ohio at Precinct Arena. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, dude?
Doing excellent, Marcus. We are here in Lorraine for the third game of this series. Lorraine need to come away with a win here after failing to get a win on the road in Dakota. Dakota did what they needed to do, find themselves up 2-0. Now Lorraine has to match serve and let this series go on for hopefully 7.
Yeah, that's going to be the hope here, as I consider this game number 3 as to be the where it really starts, because everyone has the expectation that the team with home court advantage will be able to go ahead and get it done at home. This is where we really make the deciding factor of who is going to be able to take control of this series, and Lorraine is hoping to do just that here.
And I think the players are ready to get started. They're already heading out to the circle for the tip-off.
Yep, the Bikers in the black and the Firestorm up in the white to get things started, and the Bikers are going to be winning up the tip-off this time. So, Matthew bringing it up the rock. And now we're having the open 3, and we're already starting up strong here with Dakota, keeping on that strong momentum they have within this series with that open 3.
Yeah, well, that's the rain. They're having to struggle with trying to close down that perimeter shooting. I mean, for the longest time, it was the splash for getting down low in the paint. But then with the addition of Renz and obviously the rookie as well, Luca, this is a team that you have to have 4 perimeter defenders.
Yeah, it's really going to be the biggest question mark for Lorraine, is trying to figure out what they can do to contain at least a couple of these shooters to possibly take control. But here with the home court advantage, we do get a good miss there as Tompo goes get the rebound. And now the Firestorm looking to go attack hard as Mora gets absolutely rejected there by the other end by the Rook.
Yeah, and that was huge. Face down, and on the other end, gonna finish with the basket. Luca, great defensive stop, followed by finishing on the other end. And you know, the Giraffe is a very lean fur, leading into that stretch fur mentality that we've seen a couple more players start to emulate in this league. And dangerous pass. The rookie trying to be a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, that might bite them in the butt, as that is going to be the case, as Toyota able to go ahead and take the lead for Lorraine for the first time as they're about to get close to that 10-minute mark. And now Matthew looking to try to get something, but gets rejected on the other end by Teresa. And now it looks like Lorraine has taken full control as they made the last 3 baskets, and they're up 8-5.
Got Tonpo on that fast break opportunity after the big stop. It's going to be River going to take it himself. The big water deer driving to the paint. And, we kind of mentioned this previous games, but, the experience level comparing these in terms of championship runs. Tonpo, another basket there. Dakota has 7 rings on their half. Lorraine has 0.
Yeah, and that's going to be another thing we're going to talk about here, is just the experience is understated, as Lawyer is able to go ahead and drain it down for 3 to tie it up 10 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Silvius, Lawyer, Derby, and Mishima were here on the last Bikers run almost feels like a decade ago, but it was, I think, 8 years, 17-18 season. River coming in with 2 rings of his own, and then Baltave coming in from that Winnipeg championship.
Yeah, a lot of experience on the Biker end here, really trying to, that's why they've been able to probably take control of this series in the early goings of it. But now Lorraine on their home court doing what they can to try and fend off this onslaught, as Lawyer trying to go ahead and get into the lane, but will draw the foul against Tonpo, and that'll be Anika's first personal.
Yeah, and I mean, just pure experience-wise, too, looking at the years. Obviously, Bethany Smith's 20-year veteran, even though, not all those years were in the league. Other basketball situations. So she's the most experienced player on the court. Not in this situation, though.
No, not at all. But Lorraine has been doing fairly well here in the first 4 minutes of the game. But after that miss, they're still trying to find some kind of answer offensively to continue on that momentum. Dakota also doing the same thing. Very strong defensive step between both of them. As again, another foul's gonna get called there.
Block.
Well, oh, block. Excuse me. I thought it was thought they drew the foul there.
I know the whistles. The fact that the whistles are the same, just one long, is sometimes.
Yeah, they probably need to like try to switch it up a little bit, but it will still be with Dakota with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and Sylvius hitting the three is not gonna go down though.
Yeah, I got an open look off that drive to the basket, and that's been the challenge. And River coming over to block Coyote.
Yeah, River, someone who, a player that has been on a various of teams, but has that championship pedigree to his name, showing how much of a defensive piece that he can be for this team. And right now, Mora getting blocked again this time by Luka. Right now, the paint has not really been an answer, and this time it is going to be a foul against Coyote, and it will be an and-one opportunity for the Bikers.
Yeah, I mean, Mora being in the starting lineup is giving up that 4 inches of height. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Xavier Clark get brought in at some point, if Luka is, getting the advantage on Mora. Now, I think to your point, River having been on a number of teams and found success. Some people talk about, players being ring chasers, but he has been on teams that they needed to build. Obviously, coming to the league on Plymouth wasn't an immediate success as River gets another basket there. He has had a personality and work ethic that he has been able to slot into teams out, throwing off the chemistry. People underestimate sometimes. They assume, oh yeah, let's grab the all-star team and put them on the same team. They would not necessarily win a championship. There's too many egos sometimes in the locker room.
Yeah, for sure. But even with that, you also got to look at the Lorraine side of things as one of the biggest stories coming into this finals is that there are a lot of players on this team that really didn't start with Lorraine at the beginning of the season. There were a lot of movement that's been happening on Lorraine within the trade deadline that kind of boosted this roster to be able to make it to this point. As a nice good shot there by Anika, cutting the deficit down to 6.
Yeah, I mean, they made a lot of moves, and I was definitely critical of a number of them because it felt like they were desperation moves. A team that, was looking like they were going to make the playoffs no matter what, making the change for the sake of making changes. But hey, they made it to the final, so a little bit of cream on my face for that mistake.
I mean, it happens. I mean, you never know how these moves are going to end up for a team, and it just ended up working very well here for the Firestorm. As right now, one of those acquisitions was Ju, who hands it over to Tonbo, who goes for the mid-ranger.
Well, and that's one area I did question, bringing someone in so late in the season. Not just, one player, fine, but bringing in multiple players and how that affects chemistry. Shaewon, obviously being a starter in Alaska, has slotted into this Lorraine offense pretty well. They go to him as needed. As Mora, nice give and go into the paint. Still a 6-point game here. I'm curious to see, what do you think about the bench for both teams? Who do you feel has the stronger bench between them?
Well, considering that Dakota has Eric Balta, who started for a championship team in his own right, I think that kind of leans a little bit more on the Bikers' end when it comes to the experience and skill within that roster and how deep the Bikers are. But I don't think Lorraine is something to scoff at either. Of course, with Tristan Carnell being a long-time journeyfer, being able to making some kind of impact no matter where he goes, as well as a longtime player, Maria, helping out also.
Well, I mean, you say long-term player, she's 3 years, 3 complete seasons. You look at the Bikers bench and you go, Valerio hitting another 3. I think that's his 3rd 3 tonight. The youngest bench players they have, yes, Elijah Wolfgang, Yoshigahara, Walker, and Palumbo, but they have so many, in Gruda as well. But they have so many long-term veterans. You go Eric Kajani, same class as Lawyer and Sylvius, and Trishan. Benjamin Derby, 11-year veteran. Another 3 for Dakota. This kind coming from, speaking of, Elijah Wolfgang coming in off the bench.
Yeah, and that's going to be now we're kind of entering that danger spot and what Dakota is really good for, using those long range shots, as the Firestorm are going to call timeout here as they're down by 11, already double digits. And we're not even at the end of the first quarter, so that's a huge concern. They have to find a way to contain the Bikers in some shape or form on the offensive glass.
Yeah, and I'll admit, I do feel the Lorraine bench is actually a better three-point shooting than Bikers bench. Obviously, there is some three-point capabilities on that bench. I mean, it's the Bikers. They've shown themselves to be a three-point team. I mean, even with their hire of Lucas Dupree, I mean, he was known for his three-ball game. But at
100%.
I was going to say, same time for Lorraine, look at their bench, and you have to wonder how hot and cold are they going to be coming in, and when they're playing at a deficit like this, how much can they chip it away?
That's going to be the biggest answer, and we do see Sylvia's getting called there for the foul. That'll be his second personal. So already 2 personals for the starting point guard, so that could be a little bit of a concern here. But we'll see if Teresa takes advantage of these free throws. We did see a couple of miss on both sides so far. So we'll see if that trend continues or if Teresa's going to make both of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sylvius get subbed out here. It might be a few starters getting subbed out, in fact.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised either here, as I do believe we did see a couple of substitutions coming in, as the second one does go in. So we do see the deficit cut down back within single digits, 28-19 Dakota. But right now, the bench are going to have to do a lot here to try and contain the Bikers, and they will get a stop this time.
You see that immediate double team as soon as the Kangaroo Rat got down to the post? They were not willing to let him get a look, even if it meant someone else got open. He just couldn't find the outlet pass.
Yeah, and right now, Anika getting by her defender. She was able to lay it up and in.
13 points. She has been the engine for Lorraine's offense, but she needs some help. She can't be the only one putting up points.
Yeah, right now, Luca going one-on-one. Will not make the fadeaway. Very tough shot there. Some good defense there from Lorraine. And now Tanpo going for 3, and it's good.
Hey, I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo her. If she wants to get all the scoring, as long as they win, it doesn't matter in the end. But at some point, Dakota's going to make an adjustment, whether it be a matchup or double teaming. If she gets a good defensive stop there and a fast break the other way, Coyote not able to convert, though.
Yeah, Coyote, another miss there, and now Dakota trying to calm things down a little bit as they only have their lead up to 4. And now Xavier Clark able to get the steal. And we'll go ahead and finish up with Tompo on the other end.
No shock there.
Yeah, great defensive effort there from Xavier, who used to be on the Swashbucklers in the beginning of the season, now on Lorraine, doing whatever he can to help this team elevate. And we do get a shooting foul against Maria. So we'll see 2 free throws coming up for Dakota.
I mean, wasn't Clark also on the Excavators in the off season? So this is now his third home he's had to buy.
Yeah, this is his third home after being the first 2 years here in the Edmonton Excavators and a very, very short stint in Oregon. But I don't think the Wolf is really complaining too much.
I mean, you're in the finals. You improved your situation. Huge block there. Is Parnell going to clean it up? Treshawn getting the block basically past him.
Hey, you know what? You kind of have to make up for that. But now, looking back at the scoreboard before that timeout, they were down by double digits. Now they find themselves only down by 2 as another miss there from the Bikers. And now Lorraine has a chance to potentially tie or even lead. And it looks like a tying opportunity will be the case as Edwin, long time Firestorm, is going to go ahead and go for the first 2 free throws.
And we're going to see Derby coming on the floor too now. Another same class as Edwin, if I remember correctly. Yes.
And Edwin is going to be able to knock down both. So we're tied 30 apiece here with under 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah,
And
the
the Bikers need to
Bikers.
find a way to contain them.
I'll say not just that, it's the offense. The Bikers' offense just fell apart. I don't know what's going on with their production. They're not getting the openings looks that they need. Is Clark gonna take the lead for Lorraine after being down by, like you said, over, I think it was 12 points at the biggest point of this quarter. They now find themselves with the lead.
Yeah, so right now really they've been really carrying the Becks by Anika Tonbo as she's been lights out here. As River gets blocked there, has Derby trying to lay it up, and it is good. So Dakota is gonna get the tie and the end one opportunity from Benjamin Derby, who is of course one of the longest tenured veterans here in the FBA, and will make the third one.
Yeah, let's see. He's been on Dakota, I think, since after his third year was complete. He was on like 4 teams total of his career. Longest stint in the Bikers, even though now he finds himself. He used to be the starter. I feel like past 3 or 4 years he's been coming off the bench, but productive minutes nonetheless from the Deer. And speaking of the Deer, dishing the Derby. And Derby's able to get the basket to fall from mid-range.
Yep. Deer on deer action.
Hey. No.
Okay, get your mind out of the gutter. You know what I mean. And right now, Maria going to answer right back with a mid-ranger.
And the line is taking the lead once again for Lorraine, but Dakota, a chance here to mostly burn the clock as they've been letting River take lead on these possessions.
You would imagine that a screen possibly is going to be called here. That is going to be the case, but not going to be much of it. So River going to have to take a tough shot, and it will not go down. So Lorraine will be able to have the lead at the end of the first quarter, 36-35. All the momentum going on their side.
I mean, it definitely has gone their way. I mean, Bikers stood at 30 points for so long, and it wasn't even like there were a couple of silly turnovers from both sides, honestly, in that first quarter, but a high scoring first 12 minutes of this game, 35-36.
Yeah, and that's something that's been very interesting, and you would probably have to give that a little bit on Dakota, because Dakota is more offensive minded compared to the Firestorm, who I believe are a little bit more on trying to hamper down on defense. But right now, Dakota has to do something to try to contain this, but Xavier Clark with the putback. So they're probably going to have to see if they want to rely on the 3-ball a little bit more, but they need to find some kind of way to space things out a bit. And right now, Yoshikahara going for 3, and it's going to be good. And we probably need to see more positions like that on Dakota's end if they want to be able to possibly take the lead back. But right now, Edwin, one of the strong leaders here, hands it over to Maria, and it hits the side of the rim this time. Wolfgang with the rebound. Now River coming in with a full head of steam, laying it up and in, and we'll get the and one.
And Isadora going to get called for the foul there on River. River's, I think, been on the floor pretty much the entire time. I think he had a minute or two break in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I mean, you talk about styles. It's funny, the Bikers lead, or sorry, I should just be clarified. They're the second highest in terms of steals per game, whereas Lorraine is second highest in blocks per game.
Oh!
About going for steals there. So Bikers are going to jump the lane and swipe the ball. Lorraine is going to stuff you at the rim.
Yeah, and that really kind of goes into the size advantages Lorraine usually has. I wouldn't say that it's a necessarily like as big of an advantage because Dakota's bigs are nothing to scoff at either, but they are really very reliant on trying to make sure that the paint is as clean as possible. Pick it up to Sean, pass it over to Clark, and Clark's able to lay it in pretty easily. And right now, Xavier Clark, been saying his name quite a bit here as the game has continued as being a reliable scorer within the paint.
Well, and I was going to say, I mean, you talk about bigs, it kind of depends. It's really more of the mid of the rotation is big because, you know, they'll slide a Nika Tampa over to shooting guard at 6'7", who is for a lot of teams, very difficult to contain. Obviously, Bikers with Jonathan Lawyer, 6'6", it's not that big of a difference. Oh, it's a big dunk from Mora there. But then you have Edwin. They're putting Edwin at 6'9" at small forward, which, again, usually would be tough. But obviously, Lorenz at 6'10". The Bikers are not a small team, and they match up well, I think, height-wise, the whole way down the lineup.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like when it comes to size, you can't really give a clear advantage, but you usually do put that advantage over to Lorraine a little bit because they have. That's one of the things I say that have been dominant. But Dakota, I really don't think you can scoff at their size by any means. As Lawyer will make these 2 free throws to give the lead back over to Dakota, and it has been a bit of a lead swap affair these past couple of minutes. As Chaywan looking to try and get into the paint themselves. Instead, pans it over to Carnell. Deshaun. Don't have a lot of time left. We'll get the screen. We'll have to go for a 3, and it's going to be in and out.
And I'll say, I think actually both teams, Dakota, you talk about, bigs. Michael River is basically their big, almost 300 pounds at 6'11". There's not really another big body like him. Even Benjamin Derby, yes, 7'3", 285. But, you consider that compared to a lot of the teams they could have faced in the finals, like Tallahassee with Luther Kierkegaard. At 7'6", they would have no one to physically match up against them. They've definitely gone a more lean style of big outside of River. They let River be the big body at power forward.
Yeah, and that's really kind of been showing the amount of athleticism Dakota has. But River, being that powerhouse, passes it over to Yoshigara, and it's not going to be good.
I think the veteran outweighs the rookie giraffe by 50 pounds. So,
no, yeah, he's definitely a big dude. That's something that we have to keep that in mind. Because remember, when it comes to being a big, it's not just about the height. It's also about the weight and literally the strength of a big as well. Because you can have all the height in the world, but if you're considered a twig, someone who has like 30 or 40 pounds on you can really kind of like push you back pretty easily, no matter how tall you are.
Yeah, again, it comes down to play style. That's what the Bikers went with Luka being a agile perimeter center, but he's going to struggle against those matchups. Him against your nephew is not a pretty matchup. He has to rely on being agile and hope that he causes poor Brandon to have a heart attack by the third quarter, chasing him down.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing is Wolfgang trying to go for 3, not going to be good. Clark with the rebound. And so far, Tanpo again.
Yes.
Oh.
18 points in the first quarter, 8 of 9.
8 of 9, and so we already know that she has well over 20 points at this point as River able to lay it up and in.
He could have gone for a dunk there, but decided to just pull up instead, and I don't blame him for not wanting to get chased down. Ooh, Tompo, of course. They're going to deal to Tompo. They might need to sub Lorenz back in, or a bigger body. That's, put Yoshigahara on her, a bigger body that's able to kind of box her out a little bit better.
Yeah, now here comes Lawyer. Trying to get into the paint and try to get by the defender, but it's not going to go well this time. So now, Chaiwan able to go ahead and answer right back with the lay-in. And so the Firestorm up by 6.
Oh, dangerous pass down the River.
River! Oh, my goodness.
Sylvia's trying to thread that pass. And, other way immediately.
Not as ferocious, but still efficient.
Hey, Griga's not known for the, rim-rattling dunks. That's more O'Shea wanted. Ooh, ball intercepted. Speaking of, off the glass. Just an explosive of offensive production here in the last minute as they've revved it up.
Yeah, now this is the biggest lead for the Firestorm now, up by 8. And Lawyer trying to go ahead and cut that real quick, but this time it's not going to go down. Anika off to the races. Spins it over to Gregor, who has a 3, and it's good.
Yeah, and that's Edwin for the longest time also, again, was one of those power forward stretch furs that, could slide over to small forward, could be a power forward for the mismatch, as Sylvius can't hit either. And, Lorraine looking to capitalize on this sudden cold streak from the Bikers.
Yeah, and right now they have a chance to possibly take the biggest lead of the night as we get a quick mid-ranger from Tonpo, but this time it's not going to go down. Sylvius with the rebound. And there might be a little bit of urgency as the crowd is all the way in it now as their team is finally up by double digits. Yoshigahara going for three. Again, another crucial miss.
Ooh, big block there, sending it out of bounds. And they're going to say Firestorm ball still. And as subs are coming in, yes, Lorenz will be back on the floor. Wolfgang getting subbed out, as is Biggs as well. I think we're going to see Ruda on the floor now.
Yeah, lots of substitution here as we're starting to really get into that final stretch of the first half as Chaiwan able to lay it up and in, and the Firestorm find themselves up by 13. The Bikers have no choice but to call timeout.
Shea Wynn with that great attack to the basket. I mean, he is trying to match up against River. Similar body size at least. Not giving up too much size and weight. More of a question of how does he match up against someone with twice his experience?
Yeah, and that's really going to be a big question as Valerio finally able to try and cut this deficit down as that three very much needed there for the Bikers as they find themselves down by 10, but they need to do whatever they can as Maria trying to answer right back, but this time it's not going to be good. But right now, the biggest concern for the Bikers is to try to find a way to contain Anika as Matthew able to go ahead and get into the paint and get those quick 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, Lorenz has definitely been the perimeter going. Oh, Coyote will elevate. The 5'10" Coyote dunking, slamming it down there. You get the crowd on their feet once again.
And you cannot underestimate how high she can jump as, oh my goodness, Sylvia's getting blocked from Teresa, getting rejected. And right now, Clark able to go ahead and finish it up.
12-point game here. How the tides have turned. And, you know, they're still in Maine right now.
Yeah, right now the Storm is showing that they are on fire at this point. Get a screen there. Trying to get for the mid-ranger, but again, no good. Xavier with the rebound. Firestone is taking full control of this game, and they are looking to probably stack a little bit more with this possession as Teresa getting defended well by Sylvius, having to force it up with Clark. Clark getting blocked, and it will be a turnover there as Troy able to get the rock. Now with Sylvius has the open look, and able to make it with a clean shot.
Yeah,
much needed three there.
Yeah, left a little too open too. You saw the defense was getting a little thrown off on who to switch. And oh, ball tipped.
Oh my goodness.
The rookie. Sorry, second-year player, Sarah, stripping it. Dakota, a chance to get this lead a little bit closer. Is fouled on the way up. We'll send Sylvius the line for two.
Right now, Dakota trying their best to try and make this deficit into a more manageable situation after things got out of hand here in the second quarter, as they only find themselves down by 7. But right now, the Firestorm doing whatever they can to keep that lead onto a pretty decent one.
Ooh, big defensive rejection there. Now Luca dishing up to River. River. Oh no, he loses the ball. I think he might have kicked it off his shin.
And those are the kind of turnovers you really do not want to see, especially from, as we see a beautiful, beautiful block there for River. Oh my goodness. But that is definitely not something you want to see from a veteran like River. Not a mistake that you rarely really see from the Big Deer, as right now we're seeing the Firestorm continuing to extend that lead as Teresa with 8 points so far in this game, and those 8 points seems very impactful here, as a majority of them came in this quarter.
And we saw a little dish from Lawyer to Sylvius on the drive to the basket with the finger roll lay-in. Trying to keep it, like I said, close here. Bikers let the Firestorm build a lead. Now it's not about necessarily taking it back, and Sylvius with the block.
Ooh.
The height mismatch there, and it's going to be a fast break. Ooh, almost got chased down, but Lorenz able to get the outrun the defense, and they go 14-6 run in the last 3.5 minutes. It hasn't been necessarily flashy, but it's been enough to pull it back.
Yeah, right now, Tonpo making the freaking Meerkat go in on skates so far. And right now, 25 points already, and we're just in the second half. She has really been the main scorer here. Is now Lawyer trying to find something along the perimeter here as Sylvius has it. Will go for a long two, and it will be good.
Yeah, there's his pull-up jumper right now. 1 of 4 from three-point land, though, so they can't... He's going to keep taking those shots if they leave him open. As Bora fouled on the way up. Will go to the line for 2. With about 2 or 3 possessions left in this quarter, or this half, I should say, we're about to break 70 points here, which is, again, a high-scoring affair. The Bikers usually only give up about 121 points a game. We are on track to well past that.
Oh, 100%. This is feeling like it's going to be a 140, 135 type game, as right now, Dakota still at least keeping it within a couple of possessions. We'll see if that changes here as we're on the second to the last possession, potentially, and we see an illegal screen there by Imelda, and it will go on the other end for Dakota.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate way to end that possession. Not even a chance to put the basket up. You're going to get called for the illegal screen. Now, River, oh, that matchup. Oh, the foul. Coyote, what were you trying to do? You can't bring down the deer. I don't even think he felt her.
I will say, this is a... Oh, okay. Shot is missed. They will have another chance at this, though, as Edwin going right to the basket and will get to draw a foul against Lawyer. That'll be his first. So we will see a couple of more points here from the Firestorm. And I believe after this, we will see the final possession here with Dakota, unless something crazy happens.
I mean, I will say, if you're going to foul anyone, River's probably the best one of the starting lineup to foul on Dakota. But, and then, oh, Sylvia, speaking of, going to get contact from Rashawn.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are kind of to rack up on the free throw, it seems, as both teams are going with the same idea, just attack the basket and force players to draw a couple of fouls here. And right now, Tonpo not able to go and get this basket, so we are going to end the first half with Lorraine up by 3, 72-69.
A nice way to end the first half for Lorraine as they find themselves now with a lead. Again, I mean, they had a lead, I think, to start the first, after the end of the first quarter as well. Our finale was extremely close. Again, the fact that both teams have managed to come back from double-digit leads to at least bring it back to close, anything can still happen in this third and fourth quarter.
Oh, 100%. With how intense that this first half has become, both teams experiencing a major deficit. At some point in the first half, it becomes very, very clear that both teams are capable of being able to come back, and they have to stay on it 100%. If you look at some of the stats in the first half, again, Anika Tumbo, 25 points, 11 of 14 of field goals. If that doesn't scream player of the game, if Lorraine wins this, I don't know what is.
Well, I can tell you what it screams to the Bikers. Shut them down. That is how you win this game. Riga is the only other one with double-digit points on that team right now. And if they can shut down Anika, or at least lower the field goal percentage a little bit, they could very well win this game. Obviously, on the other end, they need to, Lorraine needs to be careful of Lorenz. Having a bit of a game from beyond the arc. Sylvia's a bit cold from beyond the arc. Lawyer not having as big of a game. His home stand was a little bit better than this away game.
Yeah, and honestly, that also goes into the idea of when we start changing venues. Obviously, the crowd is going to play a pretty big dividend in these finals as we get another shooting foul against Lawyer, so that'll be a second personal. Again, nothing to worry about. We are in the beginning of the third. But that is something to be of concern of when you go and switch those venues. The crowd's not on your side this time. How are you going to potentially react? Now, obviously, the Pikers have plenty of players who have been in this scenario in the biggest stage. But it's still nothing to scoff at by any sense of the imagination.
Yeah, and you also have to consider, I mean, with the Bikers, it feels like they don't have to necessarily be 100% on to win. They can have one or two players having a bit of an off night. They have enough depth and star power. Feels like, again, it felt like coming into this series, when we were all the analysts, it definitely felt like, I don't know how many people actually picked Lorraine to win this series. I think every stat and metric says Dakota should be winning this game, this series. Right now, Lorraine is showing that they are not to be taken lightly, but it's been off the back of Anika.
Yeah, Anika really has been the main controller, and huge block there for the Bikers. And I believe that was Luca that came in with that block. And right now, River going up against Chaiwan, but Chaiwan with the block. River, though, recollects it and be able to finish it the second time around.
I mean, that was about the best defense you could do on River besides having to bring a second body over, and it just wasn't enough. He was able to collect his own miss, get around the defense and put it up, and now... Rain, what adjustments have you made going in? Is it just going to be the Atampo show continuing? Second half of it. I mean, she was quieter in the second by a margin, I could say. But she's already put up 4 points in 90 seconds.
I mean, she's up to 29 now, and Lawyer trying to take things back as he's able to lay it up and end. And that's kind of been the big answer here is Anika really has done exceptionally well against the Meerkat, especially on the offensive side, as once again, they're both going one-on-one, but this time, Lawyer is able to win that battle. And now we get a quick pass over to Valerio. Valerio for three, and it rattles home. Tying this back up 76 apiece.
I say again, his 3 game has been on fire tonight, and they're going to the Kangaroo Rat, and they need to be a bit better on that perimeter defense. Now, with Lawyer, do you think he is waving off a potential switch on the defensive end? As a veteran, is there some pride at when you reach that level? It's like, look, I'll shut them down. Focus on your man.
I feel that there might be a little bit. He has been known to be a bit cocky at times, especially when it comes to the bigger stage, and don't want to get one up. But obviously, there needs to be a little bit of a change. Valerio, again, this time along too, able to tie things back up. And right now, Anika will get a different defender on this time, but this time, Luca will get called for the foul, and he cannot believe it.
Yeah, and I want to keep an eye on the rookies. Obviously, we haven't seen Lazakowski on the floor yet for the Firestorm, but we do have Luca in the starting rotation as a rookie now in the finals for his first year in the league. So you have to imagine the pressure is high, and we'll have to see how the veterans help navigate that. I mean, Lorenz being a fourth-year player as well, that's a very young career, to find himself at this level. Silvius and Lawyer have been in the league so long. As a reminder, they were in the finals in their 3rd year in the league, and now they're in their 11th year.
Yeah, and that's something that we also got to consider as well when it comes to how tough it is to be a multi-champion in this league.
Unless your name is River.
Unless your name is River, yes. But when it comes down to it, there's a lot of players here that are still even looking for their second. It's been 8 years since Lawyer and Silvius won that ring a long time ago, and it's going to pretty much show how it's tough. Even though you feel like you figured it all out, there's still so many teams adapting to what you're good at and trying to make those adjustments to try and contain you, and it has done dividends. But this time they have another opportunity as Silvius goes for 3. No good this time.
Ill call from beyond the arc, and I mean, this is the first time we've seen the Bikers in the finals since that championship run. Rain, this is their first time since I think 2009 or 2010. It's been a while. They even made the finals.
Yeah, now we're seeing a timeout here from the Bikers as they are down by 6. It's obviously it's not the worst deficit they find themselves in, but they still having a little bit of issues trying to contain Anika specifically, as well as I believe having some struggles trying to not draw fouls when they attack the basket.
Driver, ooh, no contact on that lane to the basket, and you see field goal percentage is definitely on the lower side for the Bikers. They've managed to pull it back nearly in line with Firestorm. I'm sure Lucas wanted to have a talk with about the adjustments they're making. And they're 5 minutes into this third quarter. Some of the adjustments are obviously not going to work because Lorraine's going to do their own change-ups as Luka, off the glass, gets it up and in.
Yeah, and now we're seeing that the crowd's starting to quiet down a little bit as the Bikers find themselves to slowly creep back into a single possession game, only down by 2. But Anika trying to do a backwards pass, but it ends up getting intercepted there by Luka. And now Lawyer has a size advantage. We'll go for the mid-ranger, but it's not going to be good.
I'm going to say there, being slow on this transition may have actually helped Luka, because I think Tompo was expecting Luka to immediately switch to her and leave more open. But because he was a little slow on that switch, he was right there to collect the pass instead.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Bikers were not able to take advantage of that. So the Firestorm is going to answer right back and extend that back up to 4. But Lawyer will go ahead and get that tough shot in the mid-range. So the Bikers doing what they can to keep the Firestorm on their toes. We'll see how the Storm answers back as Shaiwan not able to lay it down. And now Silvius has the one-on-one. Will be able to get by his defender and will draw the foul against Teresa. And we'll go for an old-school 3-point play.
And that's her 4th foul, too. And you see substitution Maria now on the floor. And again, that's kind of where the height, a 7-inch difference. I mean, she obviously got a block on him earlier, but he has to make up that ground as Tompo missing a shot. That is a rarity tonight. And they can't afford those, honestly, at this point.
No, not at all. As we're starting to see Rikers trying to turn it up, but Maria able to intercept that pass. And now Anika going up against River. Will go for the tough shot, but it's not going to go down as Luka does get the rebound.
On the other end, Boyer getting a chance to rest Wolfgang on the floor, and Silvius for 3 pulls the lead ahead further. A 12-2 run in the last 2.5 minutes for the Bikers. Coming out of nowhere, really, and it hasn't even been that explosive.
It really hasn't. It has been very meticulous. There have been a couple of misses here and there from both sides, but it's Dakota that's taking a lot more of these advantages as the Firestorm find themselves a little bit cold here in the middle of the third, especially now with Teresa being forced to sit for a good bit with her 4th personal. Now, I wouldn't say that it's not necessarily a bad thing, because now you have a little bit more size here with Krishan on the floor this time. But again, it's that worrisome of trying to extend the spacing a little bit here.
Not just that, but the 3-point game has gone cold while the Bikers is heating up from beyond the arc.
Yes, and Valerio, again, 28 points. Also another player to look at when it comes to potential player of the game status is right now, Maria, trying to get the crowd back into it in some shape or form, but is getting guarded well. Instead, we see Trishan with the rob with under 5 seconds left on the shot clock, but it's not going to go down this time. Silvius with the rebound, and the Boobers are starting to come alive right now as the Bikers not able to convert on this one.
I mean, again, the run, the defense just is not there for the Firestorm, and the offense is stagnated. I would not be surprised if Lorraine coaching calls a timeout at this point. I mean, even if it's not to make a substitute, you have to make a change, and now it's going to be Tompo versus Silvius, and nothing. Tompo has gone cold this quarter at the worst time as Valerio again. Another, and yes, they have to call timeout after watching him do that once again. They're beating him up from the perimeter.
Yeah, no, Sabrina had to call timeout there. Long time coach, has been the coach for the Firestorm, going all the ups and downs. And that's kind of been the concern really for a long time, is trying to over-rely on Anika has really been now becoming a detriment, as now Dakota able to extend it up to 12. So the Firestorm find themselves back in a double-digit deficit once again, as the Bikers tie for the largest lead so far in game number 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a rubber band. You know, Bikers had a double-digit lead in the first, and they lost it. And then the Lorraine Firestorm had double-digit lead. They lost it. Now the Bikers have a double-digit lead. Can they keep it as they break 100 before the third quarter even finishes? 21 point survivor
Yeah.
tonight as well.
Yeah, this is where things get a lot dangerous here. And see, that's kind of been the big thing, is why you need other players to try and step up on yours. It can't just be one player doing it all, as Maria finally able to break that scoring drought. 22-4 run for the last 5 minutes. That is insane, as the Bikers up by 12, looking to try and extend it back up to 14, but instead heading over to Luka, who goes for a tough three, and it's not going to go down.
Yeah, and that's the point. You know, the defense, okay, the Biker putting up 22 points in this quarter, whatever, that's expected. Ooh, foul from behind from the rookie, but the fact that Lorraine has only put up 4 points, hopefully, Mora is going to add to that here, but still.
Well, that is the case with that one.
The good news is the starting lineup has been subbed out minus River for the Bikers. Hopefully that gives Lorraine a chance to maybe catch their breath and try to close this gap a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a huge opportunity here for Lorraine to potentially get some. We still have, like, the bench has really been a bit of a detriment, it seems, as with the fact that they kept a large percent of their starters in, it became a disaster there. But right now, Dakota not able to go and extend the lead back up to 12. So the Firestorm have a chance here, and there will be a charging foul against Mora.
Oh, that's horrible.
And the crowd is just not in love with that at all.
No, that basket, they thought they were about to get an and one opportunity, but no, waving off the made shot. Oh, that is going to anger the fans who have been, like I said, booing for the last couple minutes as this streak has gone on. And Jigahara left so wide open. The defense was nowhere around. And like I said, 10 minutes,
25,
6 points.
That is egregious. For a majority of the third quarter, you've only scored 6 points.
It's not even a majority. It's like
over 3/4 of it.
3/4 of the quarter.
It's like darn near the entirety of the quarter. And I really have nothing to say here in this moment, but the Firestorm has to kind of have to lock it down in some shape or form, as River hands it over to Yoshigahara. Not able to get it down this time, so we could potentially see the Firestorm potentially cut it down to 10, maybe? Maybe not? Okay. Nope.
Well, now the question is, what does... Oh, I was say that three hit, that might have been an absolute downer. I mean, obviously a 16-point game would not be unsurmountable, but Bikers ball with 2 seconds left. Okay. What is Sabrina needing to say in this halftime, this final timeout, final quarter switchover to the team? Because how do you recover from I think they may have put 8 to 10 points up in that quarter.
Step up.
Step up. Okay. Thank you, motivational speaker Marcus Baylor, for your wise wisdoms.
What else can you say in this moment that you have to not, like? One of the biggest things that they have to do is obviously they have to find a way to contain the perimeter. The perimeter has really been a huge issue within this game so far. Silvius, I was gonna say, giving a prime example of what they cannot do. But right now they need to have a lot more urgency. They have to have other players get involved offensively. It cannot be the Anika Tonpo show in this final quarter unless it's clutch time. They need other players to step up as much as they can. As Silvius not able to get down that other shot. So we're now seeing the Bikers finally getting a little bit cold in the opening of the fourth quarter. And I was gonna say that I thought it was a block there, but found a way to get over him.
Yeah, well, and I mean, here's the thing. This is not game 1 or 2. You can't say, okay, guys, it's fine. Don't get down on yourself. We still have our home games. This is the home game that they have to win. They cannot allow this to become a 3-0 series. I don't think there's been a single finals in FBA history where a team has recovered from a 3-0 deficit in the finals.
Yeah, it has never happened before, and this will be the finals of, like, the greatest finals in history if Lorraine found themselves down 3-0 and find a way to win 4 in a row. Like, it's darn near impossible as you get to know your opponents more and more as each game passes. But right now, Firestorm on 11. Chaiwan wide open lane there. Don't know what happened defensively there for the Bikers.
Yeah, a bit of a good screen usage to get open.
Yeah, and now the crowd starting to scream for defense here. Sylvius almost wide open for 3, but will not get it down, and Carnell will get the long rebound. Oh, Sylvius able to pickpocket in the last second to lay it up and in.
Yeah, you can't be lazy around Sylvius, one of the top stealers in the league, and absolutely stripping it there after the missed shot to put it back. And ooh, Clark somehow able to pull that down back to Jaywan for the shot is good from just outside the line. The free throw line, I should say, not the 3-point line. That'd be a little crazy.
That would be a little insane. And right now, Derby able to lay it up and in. And even though Derby's coming off the bench, that the communication with Sylvia is still top notch after being a longtime teammate of his.
Well, I mean, that's the benefit of, if you can have bench players that are able to mesh and gel in, Derby, big bodies don't always last in this league. And, 11 completed years going on to his 12th is nothing to sneeze at. Wolfgang can't get the open 3 to fall.
And so now the Firestorm might have an opportunity to try to sneak this one back as Chaiwan pulling him back a little bit. Getting guarded pretty well, but will draw the foul against Yoshigahara. And that'll be the first personal, as the first one does go in for Chaiwan.
Yeah, we're going to see, I think, both teams bring their starters in. If not all of them, they need to be prepared. It looks like Bikers are going to roll with Wolfgang for a little bit longer, give Lorenz a chance to come in as fresh as possible in the final minutes. They might need his 3 game, as everyone else has kind of cooled down from beyond the arc for the Bikers.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that probably is the wise decision. You do have a decent lead here as Sylvius. Not going to make the 3, but Luca trying to tip it back in, but it's not going to be good either. So, for the Firestorm, catch themselves a little bit of a break, but of course, as I say that, Yoshigahara comes up with the steal. And now,
Ivanovic trying to attack the paint again. Luca not able to get it down though.
Yeah, and now Maria for 3. Not going to go down though, but Tarpo able to go ahead and crash the boards and get that offensive rebound to lay it back up and in. And now look at what we have here. Bikers lead only up by 5 after being down by, I believe, like 13. And now we do get to see things calm down a little bit with Luca with the layup.
Yeah, after missing quite a few shots, and again, keeping an eye on the rookie as Davenport gets a beautiful dish on the drive to the basket. And it's going to be Luca, I'm sure his heartbeat's starting to go a bit. Has to stay calm, though. Can't force shots necessarily. His last couple attempts haven't been bad. They just haven't fallen. They're going to him in the post against Clark.
Yeah, both young bigs going tit for tat here as Luca trying to find something in the paint, but Xavier, huge block there.
And I would like to have seen him dish it out after he wasn't able to get much leeway down low again. He's not a back down post kind of fur, even against Clark, who's a very similar build and play style to him.
Yeah, and right now, crowd screaming defense. Sylvius wide open for 3, and it's good.
They're going to start to fall eventually. I mean, he got quite a cold streak going there, but able to hit that 3 and quiet the crowd. What can Lorraine do on the other end? They're going to go 3 from Mora. Can't convert, though.
Yeah, right now things are starting to look a little scary. Sylvius going down into the lane to lay it up and in. And right now the Bikers having a pretty good lead, trying to ice things up right here and now as they're up by 10.
Hey, the Firestorm have shown they can come back from this. And Clark, great crashing the boards there to clean up that miss. 5 minutes and some change left to go here, and Bikers are going to call timeout. They do not want to let Firestorm get any momentum going. They have arguably a 5 possession lead right now, 4 or 5 possession lead. That can burn 2 minutes off the clock. Every basket they make from here on out is another 20 seconds they can burn.
100. And right now, we do get the and one opportunity for Silvius.
And a 5th foul on Kyoto.
Oh, that's going to be something to look into, as Silvius will make the old school 3-point play. Now the Bikers are up by 11, and this is going to be those situations of, can you make a run right here and now? This is the possession to start it. And Tompo, who else would you want to do for that? As Tompo with 35 points already, 10 points within the mid-range. And now Lawyer trying to answer right back, and he will do just that.
And here is the problem for the Firestorm. This is not a team that falls apart at the final couple minutes. They have to outperform them. They cannot hope that the Bikers get cold. They can't hope that they get tight. They have to shut them down themselves. As the first is good.
They have to force the Bikers to be in a tough shooting situation. Even if it means that a lot of clock's gonna get drained, and you don't want to be that in the situation, you need to find a way to put them in bad shooting situations like that.
Yeah,
and I feel like that was a little bit rushed on the Bikers' end, so the Firestorm have a chance to possibly extend this.
I was gonna say, in the final minute and a half of the game, the fact that the Bikers, again, Lorenz has been huge for them this year, the best scorer on the team. You still have Silvius and Lawyer. Oh, we're down by 3. Okay. We have our choice between Silvius, Lawyer, or Lorenz taking the shot. Try and guard all 3 of those.
Yeah, that's kind of the nightmare scenario for any team when you have 3 players that are elite beyond the arc. But right now, Lorraine doing what they can here as Anika find a way by her defender and able to lay it up and in.
If only she had this more in the third quarter, they may have put up more than the 10 points that they did. But hey, fourth quarter, clutch time, show up. As Lawyer dished off the, gets free, but it's going to be Luka to clean it up. 9-point game here, Marcus. And again, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. This is technically only a 3-possession game. I'd say 4 or 5 is more realistic.
Yeah, it just really depends on if they're going to go for 3. Tampa will do just that, and it goes down without a sound.
Oh, there was a sound, Marcus. It's the sound of the crowd getting off their feet as they are keeping it close off the back of Tompo. As Lawyer trying to put the team on his back and burns not that much time, honestly. Oh, River stopping that fast break.
Yeah, right now the Bikers need to go ahead and slow things down quite a bit. They cannot afford to try and go for quick baskets. They don't want to give the Firestorm any opportunity. They're in the finals for a reason. So they are draining things up. Not a lot of time on the shot clock, though. Has to do something with it. No good. But Valerio able to go ahead and clean things up.
Yeah, he found a great matchup against Kyoto off of a switch, and she just, with 5 fouls, too timid. Can't block the 6'10" kangaroo rat on the putback.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very surprised that she was even in the paint in the first place, because at this point, she probably has to find a way to avoid getting into any lanes at all costs, because one more foul and she's out. And that's going to be a huge issue offensively for the Firestorm, especially with them only down by 8. Huge block there from Silvius. And now, Valerio trying to get into the paint. Will draw the foul, and it's going to be against Edwin. That'll be his first personal. And with these couple of baskets, this might be a situation where they might find themselves up 3-0, but right now, Firestorm basically might have to rely on the 3-ball.
I mean, either that or quick plays in the paint. I mean, Tompo has been your go-to player. And River. Defensive stranglehold on this team. And he finds a lane to the basket. Be it. I agree. I think unless they hit a 3 here, and that, too dangerous of a pass down low, and Sylvia saves it from going out of bounds. I
Yeah,
think that
I
is
think
it.
I feel like this is probably it for this one. So Dakota, unless something crazy freaking happens in these next minute and a half, I think that the bikers
They
will
just have
be
to
able
burn it.
to
13
leave
points. They don't have to take a shot. Just burn the shot clock out, but they're going to find a
pretty
lane to the
much.
basket.
Yeah, and right now the Firestorm are going to be down by 3 games in this finals, and that's really not something you want to see. Is Shaiwan able to lay it up and in to cut it back down to 13?
I
But
mean, that was a
I
good
think
pump
from
fake
the
on River. They made him bite on it as Luka just does a little finger roll to the basket, and the crowd has gone silent here.
yeah, I think everybody knows that this is it here. Really good effort here from the Firestorm, but the Bikers really just showing full control in these finals as we do see a third personal against Lawyer as Anika Tanpo, which let's not kid ourselves. Tanpo, she did what she had to do.
Yeah, and we see both teams, I think, have their bench in for the most part, except for Tompo now. So I almost want to. I'm gonna want to watch that third quarter. I think all the Firestorm are gonna want to watch that third quarter just to see what went so wrong. This game could have been a
Yeah,
completely different beast if the third quarter went a different way. And Mishima, I don't call it bad manners. He could have dished it out, but even now, 13-5 run. Yes, Clark quick play on the other end. Okay, back to 12-point game. Bikers are just gonna dribble the game out at this point.
ball out pretty much. Yeah, this is so. Um, how okay? How do you come from a 3-0 deficit in this situation? Because
Um,
your guess is as good as mine.
well, first you got to win at home. As Tompo,
Yeah.
43 points. Again, Tompo
Oh,
and honestly, J1 did everything they needed to do. Even Clark, coming off the bench, did everything they needed to do. They just could not stop the Bikers.
mm-mm.
They could not
It,
stop
it
Lorenz.
it feels like not even just with Lorenz, just the 3-point games in general. It feels like that a lot of things looks like
Every
with Sylvie
starter,
29, Valeria 36, River 25.
yeah, every
My
starter put up
gosh.
double-digit points. Lawyer as a 15 is a quiet game from him, and even then, Valerio 13 of
And
17.
it just goes to show of how efficient this biker squad has been. And this is a rough time for Lorraine for sure. And it's just I don't have a lot of words for this because that third quarter pretty much is what was the deciding factor for this game.
Yeah, 18 points in the third quarter. I mean, again, field goal percentage. The Firestorm had a better field goal percent. Firestorm had a better free throw percent. Uh, it came down to, honestly, turnovers. 17 points compared to 8. 12
Hmm.
turnovers for the Firestorm. They got really sloppy, and that's where that third quarter ran away from them. Were the
Yeah.
both
I
teams had
I
double
also
digit leads.
yeah, both teams had double digit leads twice. I
Yeah.
think both teams had double digit leads twice in this game. It's just that the Bikers were able to go ahead and held their own and finish it off with that double digit lead. And again, this really kind of shows how important um like experiences overall as a whole, because not only do we have a less experienced in this on this stage in the Firestorm, where this team came together on the trade deadline. So, like, even though they have done exceptionally well, since those moves have been made, and they have been on fire since those moves have been made, it really goes to show that the bikers are a little bit more in sync right now. And now they're gonna have to make some big decisions here as we head into game number 4, because obviously I don't think any team wants to be swept in any stage in any situation. Like, no one wants to be swept in that matter. So right now they have to take it one game at a time.
Yeah, and honestly, the Firestorm, again, you said how do you come back from a 0-3 deficit? It is really one game at every game is a game 7 for them. They have
Yes.
to hope that the Bikers being so close, closing it out, play tight. They have to hope
Yeah.
that the pressure is stronger on the Bikers than it is on the Firestorm. Because the Firestorm have nothing to lose. Every game is do or die. For the Bikers, they now have the pressure of if they let Lorraine come back, they could be the team that goes down in history as the one to choke a 3-0 lead.
That's the other thing too, is the Firestorm have the potential to make history. To be the first team to ever win a finals despite being down 3-0. Will they be able to do it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's history says no. However, that is
So
not history is meant to be broken and made.
yes, history is to be made, and the Firestorm, even though I don't think anybody wants to be in this situation, have the opportunity to do that. But that's gonna be the mindset is they have to. Obviously, every game is a game 7 for them. Like, it's an elimination game no matter what. They are going to be the one in the corner. How are you going to be reacting in this moment? But other than that, I think there's not much else to say here as we go ahead and rest up a bit and prepare for game number 4.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus, for joining me in the booth, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you for game number 4.
See ya.